I love to talk about interesting watches that you've probably never heard of. Today's brand is based out of Slovenia, and they are not known for making watches. In fact, they are known for their embroidery. They have a very long history of making textile embroideries with a chain stitch method. However, this company has decided to make a watch and they are embroidering the dials. And because they are all about quality and craftsmanship, they are not making a run-of-the-mill watch. And I have one hands-on to show you guys. It is a beautiful custom dial, and all of their dials are custom to whatever the client wants. And I have one in a really cool orange color. That was my specification to show you guys. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a dial that I think is pretty phenomenal and like nothing you've seen before. I love featuring unique watches here on my channel, and this is such a unique watch. When you show this to somebody, and I actually wore this to a watch event recently, people wanted me to take this off my wrist to show them the details of this dial. So essentially what I think they're doing is taking a base plate, a piece of metal, and then they're putting fabric on top of that. That fabric is embroidered. That is the dial. So the base of the fabric is the background color, and then of course the actual thread that they're using for the embroidery makes up the details and the texturing of the dial. The indices as well. You could see this is sort of a golden orange color, and then the indices are in a burgundy red color. I absolutely love the colors of this dial, and it's almost something that you couldn't execute with a normal metal dial with just a pattern or a texture on the dial. This is a very deep texture, and it's very intricate as well. They're using a chain stitch method, and when you look at this very close, it looks like it's a chain stitch. So it looks like almost like a chain of stitch on the dial. The brand is a 100-year-old brand, and they are located in Slovenia. They make artwork, and they were started by a priest. They've made embroidery for churches, flags, very beautiful art pieces as well. They are very intricate and very hard to make. Like I was saying, they're 100 years old. They were started in 1923, and they're very famous for their embroidery. The name of the brand is ERCIGOI, Ercogi. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm definitely not 100% sure on that. One other thing that they do that is very, very different from any other brand, when you order one of these watches, when you pay for one of these watches, they will reach out to you and say, hey, what kind of dial do you want? What colors do you want? What are the details that you like? So they will actually make your dial specifically to you. I chose these colors. They paired this with a brown strap, which I think makes a lot of sense. I don't remember if they asked me about that. I'm pretty sure that they did, and I thought that this would work really well with the colors on this dial. And then there's stitching in that strap that sort of matches the dial. In fact, there are 2 layers of stitching. So when you look at this dial of the close-ups, you'll see there's a second layer that is a little bit more of a brown color. That's what the stitching is matching. So really a lot of little details on this watch that are very impressive. And again, when you're looking at the close-ups of this dial, you'll notice the hands. The hands look like the needles that are used in a chain stitch machine. The specific machine that they're using is called a chenille. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that well. I don't know if that's correct, but it's CHENILLE. That's what it's called. And that's the specific technique of chain stitch that they use to make these dials. And they have to make these dials very, very flat because it needs to clear, or the hands need to clear that dials. You also have a needle seconds hand, which makes a lot of sense. So really, technically, all of the hands are needles, which looks cool. And none of them are loom because obviously you really can't put loom on a dial like this. Although that would be cool if they figured out a way of using some sort of glow-in-the-dark stitch and mix that in so you could get the color and the glow-in-the-dark effect. But I would imagine it wouldn't be very bright anyway, and there's really not much you can do with the hands because the hands are very bespoke. So I get it that there is no lume on this watch. This is a 316L stainless steel case. The case is very, very beautiful. You can see here it's primarily polished. You have these turned lugs, and when you turn it on its side, it looks really nice. It's a very nice profile to the watch. And you have these very long lugs, but they're not that long and they are turned, and it does wear very nicely. We'll talk about dimensions in just a second. And the movement inside here is a Sellita movement. So you're getting a top grade Sellita SW200. So when they decided to make a watch, they went for pretty much one of the better movements that you can get off the shelf. You have a little bit of a customized rotor on there, and it says the number on here, mine's 21 out of 50 because they are only making 50 of these. And then I believe they will do something different. But these are a limited run of 50. This says made in Slovenia on here because these are assembled in Slovenia, and a majority of what is being done to this watch is being done in Slovenia, so that does make a lot of sense. And it says since 1923 because, again, the company was founded in 1923 by a priest. You have a dome sapphire crystal in the front with a little bit of AR coating. You can see it's not terrible, but it could use maybe a little bit more AR coating, in my opinion. That would be probably my only complaint about this watch. You have a very nice crown on here. Obviously, the Sellita SW200 does hand wind, and it is signed. So overall, a very beautiful watch, and I love the color combination of the strap and the dial. It's a very autumn watch. I would wear this all year long, but it looks like, I don't know, a very autumn, very warm watch. The case on this watch is 40 millimeters, essentially 40 millimeters spot on. And then you have a thickness of 11.7 millimeters, a lug to lug of 48.2 millimeters. On wrist today, I have my new, to me, Seiko SLA079. This is a watch that I just recently got, and I am pretty excited about it. The video for this will be, I believe, out tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned. I don't know of many Slovenian watch companies, but look at this. It is just beautiful. If I had any complaints about this watch, like I said, it would be the AR coating, so you could see that dial a little bit better, and then the clasp. The clasp isn't so great. It's just a run-of-the-mill clasp. That's the only other complaint that I would have about this watch. Other than that, I think it is gorgeous. It's all about the dial and the little details on that dial. When you get up close, it looks so cool. And the hands and the overall case, everything about it, it looks really a lot more premium than it actually is, a lot more expensive than it actually is. And it's like a little piece of artwork on your wrist. It would be really cool if in the next iteration of this watch, if they did something with a little bit of artwork on the dial. That would be something very interesting, and it would literally be a piece of artwork, embroidered artwork for your wrist. Price on this is $2,800, so it's $2,890 depending on the exchange rate, which, yes, is on the more expensive side, but you are getting a lot of watch for the money from a brand that has been around for a very, very long time. I will add a link to their website down in the description below. Definitely check out their website because they have a lot of other things on their website that make you understand who they are and what they have done in the past for the past 100 years, and some of the artwork and the embroidery that they have supplied over that 100 years. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful to the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next